Okay, so how was that? Eppo எப்படி இருக்கீங்களா? Okay, thumbs up. Okay, yeah. You don't even have to tell me because I can see. Just, more light in the eyes, more teeth are showing now. And it's amazing because that whole thing that we did just took a few minutes. And if we even knew the exercises already and didn't have to be guided through them, it would take, just very short amount of time. And yet the difference in energy. You see, this is the best way to understand what is energy. Again, when we speak of the yoga of energy, what is energy? We can give definitions of it. We can speak about something from a physics book or from the Shastras. But really, we can say energy is prana. Yes, it is. But what is it really, we can't say. We just know it. We know when we have energy. And we know when we don't have energy. And so the amazing thing about what yoga offers, all yoga offers, is for us to be able to feel more energy, on a practical level, just for everyday life, for success, for health, for happiness. Just our energy level is the constant theme. And we know this because we may, for example, be ill, but if somehow we have high energy because we have something we have to do, or we've been doing some exercises or whatever it is, we can sort of sail through it. At other times, if we're sort of feeling like we're working too hard and everything is rambakashtam, and then we hear, oh no, there's some cold and flu going around, and we say, oh really? Oh look, now I am sick, and now I can lay down, and we may be sick for a long time. Swamiji spoke with a doctor who worked in a clinic for a particular disease, and he said that among the patients that he treated, this doctor said that he noticed that the patients, the people who were patients who had less money tended to get well quicker because it was expensive, but the people who could afford the treatments just stayed comfortably, and their illness lasted a long time. Swamiji himself, Swami Kriyananda, was in a hospital, and he had gotten very sick, and the doctor said, you have to stay 2 weeks. This was in Mexico, and Swamiji discreetly inquired, how much does it cost to stay for 2 weeks? And when he found the answer, he said there was no way he could afford it. He got well in 2 days by desperation and willpower. So we also know that our happiness correlates with our energy level, because we can have high energy because of some circumstance, some period of good karma happening, or maybe because we're doing these different exercises or other ones like them. And then very difficult things can happen, and we can say, okay, well, no problem. Don't worry about it, because I can handle it. Or someone else may have a problem, and you say, I can help you. I know it'll be custom for me, but no problem. Because we feel we can deal with it. Our energy level is high enough to meet the challenge. And then, on the other hand, we can have less energy and just open the fridge door and say, what happened to the dosa batter? It's finished. And then, oh my God, and the whole life is over. Just because we had low energy and we couldn't handle one more problem. And so the wonderful thing that yoga gives us is the ability to raise our energy, to work with our energy. Imagine if you got a phone, you bought a new phone, and it came to you with full battery but no charger. It would be very fun for an hour or two, and then the fun is over. And unfortunately, life can feel like that for us. We try to get some bit of access to the charger through sleep, through good food, through maybe something to relax the mind. But there are periods in our lives where that is not enough. I am eating as many idlis as any human being can eat. Still, it's not filling me with energy. I'm sleeping, but my sleep, I'm having all kinds of bad dreams, and it's a relief to wake up. So we go through times when the usual things do not work. Really, this is what yoga is targeted at. As I said, all yogas. When we speak of yoga and energy, let me begin by saying that every aspect of yoga, whether it is asana, mantras, japa, the laya yoga, meditation, dhyana, anything, it has only two purposes: to increase the flow of energy in the body and center it in the spine. This is the purpose of yoga. Now, what is yoga? I mean, we understand yoga in English means union with God, union of ourself, certainly. In the sort of philosophies of India, the 6 darshanas, there are 3 that go together in this way. Yoga is one. The one before it, you could say in sequence, is Sankhya, Yoga, and then Vedanta. So the Sankhya philosophy, basically its purpose is to explain that there is more to life than what we see through the senses. It is telling us that look for something beyond. There is Maya. Don't believe everything you perceive, because there's something hidden beyond that. And in fact, you will not be happy until you find something beyond that. Don't think of it as either or, this world is wrong and only God is right. No, both are right if seen in proper perspective. But ultimately, we will find our joy beyond this world, meaning independently of this world. It isn't to say forget the world is bad, but the point is we want a joy that doesn't depend on things going our way. I got a great job, it's wonderful. I lost the same job, I'm sad. You know, of course these things will disturb us, but what can we do to have an inner strength to then find the next job, or to help the next person, or whatever it is? We come to, you could say, well, do we have to learn Sankhya before yoga? Well, most of us learn Sankhya. The first time we try to walk and we fall and skin our knee and we cry and say, there is pain in this world. And other pain, Vendam. That's all you have to do to become a master of Sankhya philosophy. Have a little bit of pain. And then say, isn't there anything better? And then, to go to Vedanta, which comes after yoga, Vedanta sort of literally translated Veda and Anta, the end of the Vedas or the fulfillment of the Vedas. The purpose of the Vedas is what? Self-realization, merging with God, samadhi, freedom, final freedom from rebirth. And what does that look like? Is what Vedanta teaches. It explains the state of a self-realized soul. It explains the immortal Atman, the Perya Atman and the Konja Atman. It explains it all. And so you could say Sankhya is the why, yen, of the spiritual path. Vedanta is the what, enna. What will it look like when we get there? And this is all very nice to read about. But at a certain point, we become impatient. Suppose you are very hungry. You come to my house. Well, sorry, I already started. If you come to my house, sorry. You come and you say, I have not eaten the whole morning, and now it is 4 p.m., and please, do you have any kind of paniyaram or something for me? And I say, oh yes, I have a whole menu. Here is a wonderful menu. You can pick paniyaram, you can pick idli sambar, you can pick, roast dosa, anything. We have extra chutney, even more chutney than is served in Sarvana Bhavan. All these things you can have, you can read about. And then you say, fine, I would like this and this. I say, no, it's just a menu. Huh? Magachi, huh? Santosham, huh? Who wants to read about food? Give me some food. Sapringa. And so that's what happens to us. We reach a certain point where we are not content to read about anymore. We're happy to know yen, we're happy to know yena, but really what we want is yepadi. How do I do it? I'm glad people have done it, happy for them, they can inspire me, they can guide me, but I need this for myself. Ilya? And so that is what yoga is. Yoga is the how of the spiritual path. Yoga gives you techniques. Yoga is not a spectator sport. Yoga is something to practice so that you can feel and you can make up your own mind based on your own experience. So that's why we wanted to begin with these techniques. We'll be sharing some other techniques a little later on also. But for us to be able to feel within ourselves and have our own experience, in this case the experience of energy. As I said, all of yoga, whatever yoga it is, helps you to work with your energy. This isn't something that could always be said easily in sort of, hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Now we have electricity, and that helps our minds to understand these truths more easily, because just as electricity is the hidden current that runs through and runs the lights, in this case, the AC, these different things. So the hidden current of energy runs through us. But as I said, if we can't see it, we can feel it. So let me offer you a few more techniques that you can use to recharge yourself, to give your own mobile, you could say, the mobile that is us, a recharge. Let's stand up again. What I'm going to share with you first is called the double breath. And this is a breath Yoganandaji taught. It's a particular way of breathing, a pranayama if you wish, that it's a double inhale through the nose, which is a short and then a long inhalation like this. Okay, so not equal, but short and then long. Let's just practice that, okay? Short, long through the nose. Then you can exhale normally, okay? From the sound of it, I think you've got it. He said the double breath allows you to bring in more oxygen than usual, more prana than usual, than a normal breath. And then we have the exhalation part of this breath out is again double breath, short, long, out of the mouth like this. Okay, so again, double but short and then long. So let's practice this together. First the inhale, and then the exhale. One more time. Very good. When you breathe, try as much as possible to keep the shoulders still. In other words, we want to breathe more into the diaphragm, as Ashwini was guiding us, because when you breathe, 1/3 of your lung capacity is in the upper half of the lungs, which is around the chest. 2/3, meaning most of your lung capacity, is below that. And so you want to be sure to be expanding your belly. Keep the shoulders only move when we breathe into the chest. And there's not much to breathe into there in terms of our lungs. Okay, so let's try it one more time. Try to keep the shoulders still and relaxed. Very good. So let's combine this with what we did before. We're going to inhale with a double breath, tense the body. Don't tense so hard that you end up fainting, but give it a good tense. And then when we exhale, we'll release the tension. Okay, so let's double breath, inhale and tense, even till your muscles are vibrating, and then exhale, relax. Very good. One more time. So if you remember one thing from today, try to remember this exercise. You could remember more things also, but if this is the one thing, because it can help you in every circumstance. You're feeling tired, you can do it while seated. You're nervous about to go into a meeting that is going to be difficult, as I've done it, as you're pushing open the door. People say, what is, oh, nothing, never mind. But it can give you a chance to just get more energy, okay? Another thing that we can do, these are actually part of energization exercises taught by Paramahansa Yogananda. In fact, he created this system of exercises. It's his unique contribution to yoga science. What we're going to do, keep your shoulders rolled back and relaxed, not tight, but back. And we're going to bring the chin to the chest. We're going to breathe in a normal breath with tension, lifting the head like this. And then we exhale and we relax down gently. No tension as we exhale down. Inhale up with tension. Exhale down, relax. One more time. Very good. The neck is very important. You could say it's the bridge, the part of the spine that connects the brain to everything else. It's a crucial part of our system. Another thing, I'm thinking of what exercises can we do in this dimension as opposed to this dimension. Another one that we can do is just taking the arms and tensing them, lifting them up as if you're lifting heavy weights, then relax at the top, and then pull down as if you're pulling down on like a tight cord. Okay, relax at the bottom, inhale and tense up, and then you can relax here, let the arms fully relax, and then you can give a good tense to pull them back down. Relax at the bottom. One more time, tensing up. And then fully relax. And then tense down. Very good. Okay, please be seated. So again, just with these exercises, these are little things that we can do, but they make a big difference. Also, they help us because often when we're feeling low energy, we don't know what to do. And, let me see if an 8th cup of coffee will do something. Yeah, all it does is it hurts the stomach. And so also sometimes we have low energy or need energy because we're nervous, as I was saying before. And if we get into the habit of doing these things, it reminds us that we do have control over ourselves. We may not have control over every situation. We won't, in fact. But the more we raise our energy, and as we'll learn later, the more we center our energy in ourselves, the more we are able to go with the flow of events. I don't mean passively, whatever happens, happens, but we start to see, even unintentionally or unconsciously, we have a bit of intuition that guides us. I don't mean unconscious, I mean beyond our awareness, but we have a feeling, a sense. Maybe I should go in this direction. I was about to tell this person something, but looking at their face, I'm realizing, despite my enthusiasm for the idea, maybe I should wait just a moment. Maybe they will be more receptive after, let's say, a cup of chai and a few vada. Then maybe I will ask them or share this idea with them. But sometimes we can just be so excited we're in our own reality, and it's not easy for us to even look out and see, oh, wait. What is appropriate to this situation right now? What I've done before may have worked then, but in this case, new people, new situation, new environment, let me see what's trying to happen here is a very helpful phrase to keep in mind. So, in the particular yoga, you could say of Kriya Yoga, which you may have heard of before, you could say, well, what kind of yoga is it? And there are many different kinds of yoga, and they are not sort of separate and opposite yoga, as if, the bhakti yogis have their flag and they raise their flag, and then the karma yogis come and they say, no, you should support our candidate and all these things. It's not that way. What these different yogas do is they give different kinds of techniques, different kinds of philosophies, approaches to suit the different natures of people. Now, it doesn't mean only, though, that you pick one and that's you and this is what I do and nothing else. For example, Bhakti Yoga, you all know, the yoga of devotion, the yoga of the heart, as Dharmini was saying earlier, how much we need to open the heart. Everyone needs to open the heart. For a lot of reasons, it's half the battle, as she was saying, but also the heart, if we're trying to raise the energy in our spine, which is the goal of yoga, the heart is there in the way. And if the heart is open, it allows the energy to flow there and it supports, it draws that energy flow. And if our heart is closed, it's not helpful. And we know. How do you know if your heart is closed? There's a very important device that you have in your home that can tell you if the heart is closed. It's called a mirror. Glass. Look in the glass and what do you see? If you see this, it's a warning. There may be a problem with the heart. And if you can look and you can smile. Why am I smiling? No reason. I am smiling because I am smiling. It reminds me of my Atimber in Kerala, Trivandrum. He was a very stern man. Very stern. We were all afraid of him because he could shout. He could go from 0 to 60 decibels of shouting in 1 second. Just, you never knew when it was going to happen. And so he had a grandson. And this grandson was one day, the grandfather came, I witnessed the grandfather coming up to the grandson, and the grandson was And the grandfather came up to him and he said, "Why are you dancing?" And Bhuvanesh said, "Santosham." And he couldn't help it. He had to laugh. We were all relieved. But, sometimes that's just how we are. Why am I smiling? Santosham. Why Santosham? Why not? Because I just feel it. That's usually correlated with higher energy. So again, if there is less santosham, we need more energy. And how do we do it? The things that we just shared, and there are more besides. So remember that your energy level is within your control. There are things we can do. We can't always change things dramatically, but we can always make them better. And that's the goal. Ultimately, it will lead us to God. That is the purpose. But the particular yoga, you could say, of Kriya Yoga is the yoga of Raja Yoga. And what is Raja Yoga? Well, we can give different explanations of it, but one simple way to understand Raja Yoga is that it focuses on the technique of meditation. And so if you are doing any kind of dhyanam, any kind of meditation, that falls under Raja Yoga. If you want to practice Raja Yoga, you meditate. Do you have to even know any Sanskrit? Do you have to have read Patanjali? Do you even, what if people live on the other side of the world, never hearing of any of these things, and they meditate? Still, it's Raja Yoga. And so Kriya Yoga is a particular kind of Raja Yoga because of the particular kind of meditation technique that it offers. But again, there are many meditation techniques. What makes them so wonderful, and pardon me, I just have to check the time here. What makes them so wonderful is that they work directly with the energy flow. I'm not going to talk more about that right now, but Dharmini will perhaps in the next part. So what we want to remember then is, what can I do to help with my energy? One thing we did, we chanted. So any song that you like, you can sing along with. It takes our energy out of the mind and as she said, the crazy thoughts, and it just puts it in a particular direction, and we feel some relief from just all these crazy thoughts. And we also feel a flow of energy in the heart over time. You can listen to music. Music is very soothing. It goes directly into our consciousness. It's a form of art that goes directly into our consciousness as we hear it. Another thing you can do is the meditation technique that we did, but there's more to come. And these movements, the double breath, the energization exercises that I just taught you, the superconscious living that Prasanna taught, you may think, well, I can't very well stand up in the middle of my office and say, I'm awake and ready, and that may be my last day at the office. But I have to tell you that when I was in college, there was a computer science lecture, and the man came in to give the lecture. He was working at Microsoft, and he said, if you are feeling low energy in your work, you can say, I am awake and ready. And of course, people, what is going on? Who let this person in? And so on. Then he said, you can say, I am positive, energetic, enthusiastic. He jumped up, his shirt flew up, and there was his tummy and everything. I thought, I like this guy. He has courage. No one would dare do this in a university computer science lecture, and he did it. So I asked him afterwards, what do you do? You must do something. And he said, have you ever heard of yoga, autobiography of a yogi, Kriya Yoga, and so on? I said, no, but I'm interested. Just on his example, that was enough to attract me. So you can sort of do it discreetly, but you can do other things, but you can do affirmations in general. Even as Ashwini said, suppose you're ready to give, you can't necessarily walk to the bus, strength and courage, fill my body cells. But you can say it inside, inwardly. I feel nervous, strength and courage, fill my body cells. How do they fill our body cells? The yoga teaches that though we have, I said let's raise the level of energy in our body, that when we have different parts of our bodies that are tense, you can think of that as trapped energy. And if we can release that tension, then we will feel better and the energy can flow. You can think of it as frozen energy that needs to be melted in order to then flow. And that's why we did this tense and relax, because the tension that we're holding is unconscious. So if I say, relax all your unconscious tension, to think about it. This is what Yoganandaji taught. That's why we tense first. And then we relax not only the tension that we added, but unconscious tension as well. So let's do this just sitting where you are. Let's just sit up straight. And we can't feel the unconscious tension. We just feel kind of not fully relaxed. But let's inhale and tense the body, double breath. And now let's exhale and relax. Try to fully relax and feel. Just try to feel how the body feels. You may feel warmth in the muscles, or a tingling, or a lightness, or just feeling a little more alive, a little more comfortable, something. All of these are evidence of energy flow. Okay, you can open your eyes. In the beginning, some people may only feel blood flow and say, okay, I feel more circulation. Good. Remember, even anything on the physical level is an expression of what's happening on an energy level. So increased circulation of blood is evidence or proof, you could say, of increased circulation of energy. Of course, that the energy sort of level or reality comes before the physical level. So that's one way that we can increase our energy flow, is to stop the trapped energy. Let that energy come back under our control and not be unconsciously stuck in places. Another way, and the main way, that we increase our energy flow, we do these exercises and they help. But why do they help? Yoganandaji explained, as the Shastras say too, that we can draw cosmic energy, cosmic prana, into our bodies through the medulla oblongata. If you take your hand, slide it on the back of your head, you feel the curve, and then move your finger down until you feel this indentation, this gap. So that is right above the medulla oblongata in the brain, just at the base of the brain, the top of the brain stem. This part of the body, he said, is it's sometimes called the mouth of God. It is sort of the hidden mouth. We have the obvious mouth here. This is the other mouth. And it's funny because it does have an indentation, almost as if there's an inward flow or there's something being received. And so when we do these exercises with the awareness that let me draw energy into my body through these things. A man was doing the exercises that Yoganandaji taught. One of them, I won't ask you to join me in this one because it goes like this. But there was a young monk doing these exercises, thinking of the energy coming into the medulla. And he said, "Pump it in, Divine Mother, pump it in." And so whenever we do anything, think of that. Say, God, I need some help here. And feel that energy is coming in. It wants to come in. Divine Mother is trying to refill us. What mother do you know who doesn't want to feed her child? So of course Divine Mother wants to feed us, and she's trying to, fill us with the energy too. So the thing then for us to focus on is to know that there is more energy available to us when we use our willpower, which means I will do something with willpower and intention, but it also means willingness. I want to do it. Sometimes we can lose energy just by saying, I just don't want to. And if we do it, it takes 10 seconds and then it's over. And so in the same way, think of willingness and affirming willpower. I'd like to end with one more technique. This is a technique of affirmation. We've already done several affirmations. I am awake and ready. I am positive, energetic, enthusiastic. Also, strength and courage fill my body cells. This is an affirmation for success. And I'd like to read to you a few words on success, and then we'll do this affirmation together. Swami Kriyanandaji writes, "True success means transcendence. It means finding what we really want, which is not outward things, but inner peace of mind, self-understanding, and above all, the joy of God. Outward success means transcendence also. It means rising above past accomplishments to reach new levels of achievement. Success can mean accepting failure too, when such acceptance helps us to transcend a false ambition. Every failure, moreover, can be a stepping stone to highest achievement. Success should not be measured by the things accomplished, but by our increasing understanding, ability, and closeness to God. I'll read through this affirmation, but it's also here on the screen. I leave behind me both my failures and accomplishments. What I do today will create a new and better future, filled with inner joy. So, I think let's just say it together because you can all read it, and if that doesn't work out, then we'll say it line by line. I leave behind me both my failures and accomplishments. What I do today will create a new and better future, filled with inner joy. Let's just pause a moment, take in the meaning of those words. Now let's say it in a softer voice. We said it in a loud voice to get the attention of our mind. Now in a softer but very intent concentration. With concentration, I mean. I leave behind me both my failures and accomplishments. What I do today will create a new and better future filled with inner joy. And let's take a moment to feel that truth that we just said. How it is true for me, how it is true for each of us. Next, let's do it in a whisper, taking it into the subconscious mind. I leave behind me both my failures and accomplishments. What I do today will create a new and better future filled with inner joy. Let's take a moment. And finally, let's say this silently, just Manisla, taking it into our superconscious mind. I leave behind me both my failures and accomplishments. What I do today will create a new and better future filled with inner joy. Okay, and now Dharmini will lead us in the next part.